Haunted home I babysat in. I, 27 female, have a few unexplainable experiences in my life that constantly make me question my own beliefs as someone who grew up extremely religious but no longer believes in God. The scariest one for me was when I was 16 and babysitting at a house across the back alley from me. This home is used for members of the RCMP to stay in with their families as they do a mandatory rotation in our area. First family that lived there that I babysat was one boy and one girl, and they never indicated that the house made them afraid, but I always felt extremely uncomfortable in the basement family playroom, where I'd spend most time with the kids. We played hide and seek once, and the boy went into the furnace room searching for me because he said he heard me tease him by saying his name in a sing-song voice. I was in the bathroom across the basement. I eventually went looking for him, and he was tearing the furnace room apart looking for me, and screamed when I asked him what he was doing. When he told me what he heard, I quickly took them out of the basement and back upstairs. Shortly after that, that family moved out without a goodbye, strange for a very small town. The next family was 2 girls, 2 boys, and the oldest boy, every time I saw him, would tell me how his room in the basement he shared with his younger brother scared him and he never wanted to sleep in it. They all avoided the furnace room but wouldn't say much about it other than, "It feels weird." One night I'm sitting upstairs watching TV around 1 a.m. and all the kids are asleep, and I had a feeling someone was watching me from the kitchen, so I'm staring there looking at nothing. This feeling increases and it feels like someone is walking towards me slowly, enjoying how afraid I was until it felt like a dense cold cloud of energy was hovering over me as I sat on the couch. I was terrified. It felt like I could blink and then I'd see someone standing in front of me. Slowly it felt like it backed away and retreated to the kitchen where that same feeling lingered, but I was calmer. On top of the fridge were 6 large law textbooks being held on either side by heavy bookend holders. They were pushed back far from the door of the fridge. I watched the biggest book in the middle of them get pulled straight off the top of the fridge and slam into the sink cupboard across the kitchen. My blood ran cold. I could not believe what I just saw and started to call and text the parents a lot. I checked on all the kids who were sleeping peacefully and waited by the door until the parents got home. I was shaking like a leaf and I told them what happened and why I was afraid, and they didn't believe me. A few weeks later, the principal of my high school told me the house I was babysitting in was his childhood home. What a crazy coincidence. And then he says when they moved in, his sister and him had found an Ouija board in the furnace room, which they then burned in the backyard. It all burned aside from the letter I. I felt like I was going to pass out when he told me that, and babysat twice more for that family before I graduated high school, and they moved out that same week. I've told people this story very seldomly because of how afraid I was and that I have no explanation at all for it. It'll be a good day when that house gets bulldozed. Other awful things happened in that house as well. I think it was a breeding ground for negative energy.